快给我一个 host。
Hello，
给我个 host。
听得到吗？
听得到，听得到，给我个 host。 我看看我什么样。哦，我的天哪！
哇，你还化了妆？
我就画了个眉毛，涂了个口红。
我也要露脸吗？我没有化，
所有人都要露脸。
那我可以戴着口罩露脸吗？
你那么漂亮还戴口罩露脸？
我今天好丑，我没有化妆。
你不露脸都对不起观众啊，同志。
哎，
没有，我露脸了，对不起观众。我戴个口罩去吧。
这是谁呀？
我全部现在衣服全部都是湿的。
天哪！那个 waiting room 有30多个人在那里等，等一下我们让他进。
我看到了。
你的手机可不能，我给你处理，就是安满了那个。
我晕了，我晕了，发生了什么？你让看，你让看。你去用你的手机登进去好吗？
我把你在后边的，要不给你弄一下？
不用，我可以用后面挡住。
你可把那挡住吧。你阿姨那个东西，
我已经跟他说过了，我现在就要把它加进去，可以了吗？哦，你看到我的 virtual background 了吗？
哇哦，看到了，很高级。好了，我换好衣服了，我回来了。
现在居然在换衣服。开摄像头，开摄像头，姐妹们，我把图发到群里。
这样能听见吗？
听见了，听见了。
OK。
你有那个 PPT 了吗？
没有，没有，没收到。
我已经收到了。你再看一眼。
疯狂刷新。真没有，是不是发错？
他没给发给你吗？
刚有。
我晕了，他现在给我，我怎么改呀？这个人去掉。
超大附件，那我还要下载一下。
Tiger 没有回我哦。
不理他了，他妈给我打个电话了。
所以他会来吗？
他要是不来，就不理他了。
哦，那你记得提醒一下主持人，就如果他不来。
我直接说，你在群里艾特一下那个主持人，让他进来。
在群里。
喝茶了。
在哪个群里？组委会那个群吗？
对对对对对。
是那个拳击那个人是吗？
哎，你自己看一下我现在事情，哎呀，烦死了，怎么这么多事啊？
这个端下去好吧？
端下去，
看一下
端下去。38了，38了。
不放心了，
我们
给你冲杯茶啊。
叫什么名字？哦，他叫 Howard 张。诶，他在里面吗？
啊，这搞的是啥玩意儿呀？我要被气死了！啊，为什么？为什么？为什么？
可以把我设成 co-host 吗？然后
我现在是 cos 吗？
对啊，但是我要放人进来啊，放那个谁，那个 Howard。
等一下，等一下，把你们都利于 co-host。哎，哎，你已经哦，你不是。好，你这里看到我的脸是 mirror 过的还是没有 mirror 过的？
我觉
就你看
得
我后面的 sparkling 是正的还是反的？
是正的。
那我的脸是不是很奇怪？
不会啊，你的脸非常的瘦。
什么
你今天
鬼？开摄像头，开摄像头，所有人开摄像头，快点，快点，快点！
那个 Howard 进来了。
哎呀，怎么没图片呢？我晕倒了，我晕倒了，这搞的是啥玩意儿啊？
怎么了？
搞的是什么呀？都到现在了，这个 PPT 还有问题，气死我了！
诶 Howard 怎么？
在干什么？气死我！啊！
我有点怕这个 PPT 到时候下载不完了，现在特别慢。
那到时候就我 share screen 了。嗯，那我就要你们有一个人去给我联系我的嘉宾，我这样根本搞不了。
或者要不你把 PPT 发给那个谁？
那个 PPT 不行，那个 PPT 太大了。
这个谁下载应该都要很久。
我晕倒了，我都不知道在干什么，搞这么久，搞出来这鬼玩意儿，气死我了！我要裁员，哼
，Howard 进来了，
生气了。
听得到吗？我们的主持人听得到吗？
听得到，我在找摄像头呢，没找着呢。其实摄像头不是很重要吧？
很重要，必须要开。
摄像头左下角可以那个，就是有一个摄像头，摁一下就可以了。
我在找我的摄像头，不是在找那个摄像头。它被一堆线缠住了，有点尬。太久没用过这个软件了，都放假1个月了，有点不适应。怎么有 Zoom 这种东西？我突然感觉我开学了。这是什么？美女的素颜吗？怎么还戴上口罩了？
因为吴老板要求我一定要露脸。
那我可以戴口罩吗？
不可以，因为你是主持人。
可以，
Coronavirus，
不可以。
那可太尬了。露脸的话，那不是干点啥都被发现了，那多丢人呢。
你可以在其他选手讲的时候把那个给关掉，然后你
那
讲
必然，除了我说话那几秒钟，我一定都关掉。
林玉，你把你摄像头打开，快点儿，朋友。
我在想要不要放我这个耳机上的兔耳朵，会不会太尬了？
哎，怎么这？
耳机上还有兔耳朵。
我操，那得弄出来。
你们这个能看到我吗？
看不到哎，为什么你的这么糊？
啊？不是坏掉了？
可以啊。我兔耳朵 is ready。
好糊啊！OK， 哇，你这个真的有兔耳朵哎！
视角好怪啊！
真的有兔耳朵，太神奇了！
我加了50块钱买的这耳朵。
可以，你好像电竞播报啊！
你可以拿掉吗？我天啊，这好掉价呀！
我靠，这可是要抢的。
你能不能开一个 virtual background？
要求好高啊！
哎，不是，我也想
我发到
开
群里了，你能用群里那个图吗？就是跟我这一样的。
那可太可爱了，还有个 sparkle 呢。有这个图之后，就看不太见我这个耳朵了，都没有辨识度啊。
哪儿能弄 virtual？
摄像头那儿有一个选项啊，可是这种点 none， 我没有绿幕。哎，可是怎么加进去啊？共享屏幕啊，千万别共享，好尬哦！我操，是不是应该买一个那个什么声卡之类的东西用一用？
你是主播吗？还声卡？
那个声卡好尬啊，我们平常录作业都有声卡的。哎，可是我这个虚拟背景它导不进去哦。哎，之前都能导，怎么今天导不了了？
我气死了！
选择是没有添加这个选项哎，那怎么办啊？
有添加那个选项。
不，你骗我，我这儿没有。你瞅瞅。
哦，我的 Mac version 不可以，这也太尴尬了。
你是没画眉毛？
是的 ，I have a green screen。
不得画个眉毛吗？
不了吧？
我甚至前天还刮了胡子。
哎呀哎呀，这是什么？
哇操，这个太猛了！
为什么我 virtual 这么奇怪？
我的摄像头还不正啊，它得是这样的。
不要不要。
啊，我要晕了！这给我搞的是啥玩意儿？哎呀！
我操，这个太棒了，这个视角，但是它很明显能看出来我在读高，呵呵呵，有点尬。
47了，快点！那个还没有人收到 PPT 吗？
某啊！
我这个才下载1/4吧。
我操，我好想戴口罩，他妈怎么上镜这么胖啊？
多久下载了1/4啊？
我就刚刚发过来的时候我就开始下载了，然后现在
也
才
太慢了吧！我收到之后，我来翻吧。李宇，你那个，
那个嘉宾怎么办呢？
那我去搞嘉宾了，怎么搞？告诉我一下。
你在 LinkedIn 上面找他们所有人，然后一会儿微信我给你们 拉个群。
你直接给我们拉个群，然后到时候我就根据那个 agenda 让他们一个一个上来呗，还是干嘛？
因为有的人没有微信，我跟你说。
啊
就是这个
那有的就要 LinkedIn 跟他说
对，大部分都是 LinkedIn。
，LinkedIn 我觉得，哎，好吧，
搞的什么玩意儿？
我靠，这个太猛了，还能调美颜的吗？
啊，这可以调美颜吗？
啊，在那个视频里面有美颜，但是其实没什么太大的用，就变白一点。毕竟现在看起来太胖了，白一点好一点。哎，我没有那个虚拟背景哎。
哎，你们谁去那个选手群里找一下 Tina 荣和 Aegis Trinity， 告诉他们到时候他们自己要 share screen。
在哪？
Tina 荣和 Aegis Trinity 在那个 final participant 那个群里，快点！哎，我现在没有时间，你去问天骄好吗？
需要他们 share screen 对吧？然后自己翻页。
对。
啊，对，那你为什么一开始就不让他们？你一开始就让他们自己翻页呗？
因为他们的 PPT 迟迟没有交上来，就这么简单。
啊，
没有收到他们的 PPT， 现在加进去也来不及了。
喂，哎，评委，我看一下。评委的话是，学长学姐评审有5个，然后专家评审有5个。专家评审的话是沈博，Leslie，然后石兰。
你们现在能看到我的屏幕吗？我屏幕上面有没有框框？
能，
有没有挡住的东西？
没有什么特别挡，对，没有什么特别挡住的。
就是所有的字那些都看得很清楚吗？还是就是右边和中间有个框框？
没有，都还挺清晰的。
这样有变化吗？
嗯，
这样呢？
没有变化。
也没。好，把那些给那选手那些联系一下，然后我这样子的话，我就整个我就没有办法啊，我气死了！啊，嗯，哎，哎呀哎呀呀！不行，我现在还要改 PPT， 我怎么办？退。你现在还能看得到我的 screen 吗？可以，
能啊。
可以，可以。
等会儿是不是有一个选手不来了？
对他有可能不来了。
谁呀
那个 Tiger，
？Tiger。那我把他这盘先给他 mute 掉吧。
哪些人需要 connect 来着 ？LinkedIn 上面有没有一个选手列表呀？
poster。
哦，好好好，
除了 Alex Choi，Alex Choi 不来了。
你不是让我对接选手吗？
不是选手呀，姐姐，嘉宾啊。
哦，嘉宾。OK OK。
啊，我 PPT 卡的一批，怎么办呢？都55了。哎呀，
他们要是不接受我的 connect，不就完了？
搞死我了。
他们都没有接受我的 connect 耶。
你现在把嘉宾全部都 admit 进来，你在 waiting room 里面找一下。快点！
等一下，不是让我 LinkedIn 去 connect 他们，然后
你
再
现在把他们 admit 进来，就可以跟他们讲，让他 connect 你。现在马上立刻，现在已经57了，我们马上要开始 admit 参会者了。Hi, Javid.
Hi, Jessica. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I have to like control the whole PowerPoint and stuff today. So I'll have my friend lead you to communicate with you if you have any problems or emergencies. Okay.
Okay. So I'll just speak. So I don't have a PowerPoint. And So you will tell me when to start or
Yeah.
okay.
Can everyone turn on their camera, please?
Good morning, mister. How would you like me to call your last name?
You mean my last name?
Yep,
Mr. Raman.
Raman. Okay, Mr. Raman. Thank you.
You're welcome.
我们什么时候把大家拉进来？
我们要先把所有的嘉宾拉进来，然后再稍微等一会儿，先把所有嘉宾拉进来。
我现在看不到别的嘉宾了诶。
我们可以找一下其他的嘉宾吗？
沈总想进来，我拉他进来吗？
什么？
那个沈次恩，沈总。
都全部都拉进来，就是只要是嘉宾，还有我们的评委那些的都拉进来。
我看一下。
那个 Address Trinity 和那个 Tina 的那个 presentation 要自己放，跟他们说了吗？
Jessica。
阿姨，如果你今天就是有任何 emergency，我就是因为我要 control 那个 Zoom meeting，让那个丽玉跟你联系，可以吗？
好的，我不会说什么事，让那个你们的同事来帮我安排。
好的。
我们等一下就是 voting 是怎么 vote 啊
？voting 会在 Zoom 里面有一个 poll box， 然后你直接 click on the one。
明白。
可以。Emma 阿姨好。
Selma Johnson 是你的朋友吗？
什么
Selma Johnson 是 speaker 吗？还是演讲的？
？Hannah Lisa Johnson 是。
那 Selma Johnson 是
你要不先把它放，
我在
算了吧，那你就先这样吧，先把大家都放进来。
那就现在放进来所有的人。
丽玉，你可以打开你的摄像头吗？
我刚刚跟你说，我
会放人进来了，起点了。
现在大家都邀请进来。
对，把所有人都搞进来。
Hello, everyone. This is Hanna-Lisa Johnson speaking. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we're able to hear you.
Are you able to hear me? I can't hear you. Let me try to make some adjustments. I just realized that you see Selma Johnson on my screen. That's a member of a family. I'm using two computers. I had problems with the other one, the Macintosh. I just need to. Hi. Hello.
Hi. 老师好。
Hi. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sure. Very clearly.
Excellent. I can barely hear you. I need to do something with the laptop. I had some technical problems with my Macintosh. Let me try. I need higher volume. That's
maybe
the problem.
maybe try with the earphone.
See, actually, I. Now I hear you better. Actually, there's something wrong with the headphones, I think. I will not. Those. Okay. Okay. How are you all today?
By yourself?
Doing okay. Thank you.
Exciting.
Howard,
as well. It's exciting to be part of it.
Wait, Howard, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can we go ahead and get started right now?
We'll start right now?
Yeah, we're gonna start right now.
Okay. Thank you everyone for taking your time to join us at the Youth Innovation Forum today. We will start at exactly 7 p.m. So please keep yourself muted throughout the session and turn on your camera if possible. Thank you for your cooperation. And we start right now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning to some of you from the other side of the world. It is my pleasure to be the moderator of today's event. My name is Howard Zhang, and I am calling from Shenzhen, China. I would like to bring up that we have a very diverse audience today. We have participants across 4 continents and more than 20 cities and districts. Now, let my partners Jessica to introduce Sparkling.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica from Florida, and I'm the founder of Sparkling. So Sparkling is basically a teenager incubator that we started to incubate creative ideas of teenagers. And we have also started this competition called TBC, Teenagers Business Competition. This is the competition that we use to collect creative ideas from teenagers.
帮我打开一个，帮我打开这个，撕开这个，我要吃，帮我撕开这个。Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Howard, can we continue?
Okay, so now is some of the supporting organizations are Tencent, Dajiang, China Next Generation Education Foundation, Mommy Daddy Me, Y City, and Julia Ivy League Education. Thank you all for your support to Sparkling and our event today. I would also like to introduce you our awesome jury members.
So for professional judges here, we have Ms. Hannah-Lisa Johnson, who is an international accomplished entrepreneurial global leader in areas of business development, design, innovation, and learning. And also we have Ms. Leslie Wong, who is the foremost financial executive at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, and who is also the founder of Mommy Daddy Me. And also we have Mr. Zion Shen, who is a professor at Stanford University, Chung Khan Graduate School of Business, and China Europe Business School. We also have Ms. Emma Chen Banas, who is from United Nations Economic Social Council Changer, who is a United Nations Economic Social Council Changer and Education Chief Administrative Officer. And we're also going to have Ms. Kathy Xia, who is an executive at Tencent. And we also have awesome peer judges, who are Latifa M. Latifa, who is a British Saudi young entrepreneur, founder of EcoX, and who pitched in front of a billionaire. And we also have Luca Alisa, who is the co-founder of Wisdom Accelerator and the moderator of one of the panel at WTO. We also have Ms. Audrey Miao, who is the founder of Audrey Asylum, and Katie Yuan, who is the founder of InnovateX. Now we're going to move on to the speeches given by our guest speakers. And first we'll welcome Mr. Javed Rahman, who is the co-founder and CEO of Mommy Daddy Me and the former head of Asia of Alter Damas. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And I am so impressed to see how many people have dialed in, and as you were saying, from 4 continents. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of the Youth Innovation Forum and the business case competition. And I will share with you that I always enjoy being part of business case and the youth forums, because it reminds me of how I started my journey as an entrepreneur many years ago. So just to give you a brief background is that I was born in Bangladesh, and then I moved to the United States as a teenager. So I went to college, and then I went to Northwestern University, Kellogg School of Business for an MBA. And I worked in the financial services industry for many years. And in the meantime, so I have set up 2 companies, and now I have co-founded Mommy Daddy Me with Leslie Wang. Who is also my wife, and also, and there's a reason I'm saying all this is because, when you really set up a startup, it's not just about writing a business plan. It's about if you really are solving a problem or building an innovation. So it's not always about solving a problem, because I was actually thinking about how iPhone started. I mean, we had phones before, but what iPhone had done, it brought innovation to that industry. And what we are trying to do with Mommy Daddy Me is to bring innovation to learning. And what we always say is that we use the most advanced technology like Zoom to teach the old-fashioned way. So it's using real teachers, best-in-class teachers from across the world. The other way you bring innovation is, as we all know, that we are social animals, if you will, and we all like social. So how do you make learning interesting? So I think that is another thing that we are now doing, is actually running a online virtual cultural journey with live presentation from at least 14 or 15 different cities across the world. And children can learn about geography and the people, the culture, the food. So this is how I see innovation changing the world, is that, you know, I mean, if you ask someone 10 years ago, do we really miss anything? They will say no, because we have everything right now. But it's how you can show people that you are building something that is either solving a problem or it's innovating the current environment and making things better. The other thing you need that I have seen is that when you are a startup founder, you know, entrepreneurship that's a glamorous term, and everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. It's so great, right? So, and the incubation is great, and you start a business. But what people do not know is how much dedication it takes and how much hard work it takes as you build a business. And I follow Jack Ma, the famous Jack Ma, and I still remember that three things that he has said if you want to be an entrepreneur. Number one is that, what do you have? Number two is that, what do you really want to do? And then number three is that, what will you give up? So, you know, as you are trying to be entrepreneurs here, and some of you already are, think of that, is that how much dedication you need and how much sacrifice you need, but at the same time, how much you can achieve. So that is very important. So if you believe on that, then you should go ahead. And entrepreneurship is not always about financial success. So many people set up company saying, you know what, I want to make $1 billion. That should not be your goal. That's a byproduct of your mission. That's a byproduct of your execution. So if you have something that is really good, that is changing the world, that is helping people, it's going to reward you. And the other thing, what Jack Ma said, is what do you have? So that's about having your resources. Is that, and when I say resource, it's not just financial resource. It's about your mentors. It's about the people that you work with. It's the network that you have. So I think that is where I really gave Jessica and her friends and the group a lot of credit, that you are actually building that network at such a young age. And that's going to help you for rest of the world, rest of your life. The other thing you need is the ability to, and the willingness to fail and learn and have that experience, because no matter how smart you think you are going to make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. So, and you need to accept that. And you need to say, you know what, this is part of my learning journey, and how I'm going to change the world. So, and, so there's some noise. Okay, so then, you know, so I think those are the basic things, and I would say that always make sure that you have a strong mentor network around you. And as we started, so I'm in my third startup. Let me tell you, I make mistakes every day, and you will mistake every day, and you will wake up and say, you know what, I need to do that one thing better, and that one thing is going to make all the difference. So what we are doing now is that we are also, as you know, I mean, as you have seen that. I have worked in financial services for a long time, and then Leslie worked in the financial services industry for a long time. But then we believed in this mission about changing the world and then making education accessible and affordable to millions of kids across the world. So that's what we are doing. I mean, our cultural journey that we are doing has been extremely well received. In fact, we're going to expand that. And we are starting a reading program in the United States with the support of my alma mater, Northwestern University, and support of other corporate sponsor. We have recruited a chief learning officer, and we're going to deliver learning to disadvantaged children. Yeah, so this is going to be great. So I think once you have that mission, I'm sorry, should I stop or? I think there were some, anyway, so I think, you know, I mean, we are doing a lot of things, but it all started with a mission. Okay, so yeah, so it all started with a mission. So that's what I would encourage you, that have a mission and then make sure that you are solving something that is important. Make sure that you have enough resource and you have a mentor network, you have the supporters that you are willing to change and improve, and you know, and also be realistic. I mean, I have been judges before, and I have heard people say, "Oh, I want to make $10 million the first year." You know, I have seen very few business, if any, that has made that kind of money, unless you have a huge amount of marketing resource behind you. So be realistic, and then start with a small scope and grow from there. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I won't have the opportunity to actually judge the business cases, but I'm sure I will hear about them, and I'm sure they'll be all great. And I wish you all best of luck. And I would like this to be interactive. If anyone have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. So.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Javid. So what we're gonna do for now is we're gonna have all of you, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. And I hope that Javid can answer them in the chat box. Is
Absolutely.
that okay?
Yes, I'll be delighted to.
Okay, thank you so much for your talk. That was very enjoyable.
Thank
and now
you.
we're gonna move on to TBC right now. And so for TBC, what we're gonna do this year is we're gonna have participants presenting, and everyone please pay close attention to it because we're gonna have a vote by the end of this session. And the vote will count as 10% of the participants' points by the end of the competition. Okay, so let's welcome our first participant, He Wei Ding, to give his presentation. And we're gonna set up a 5 minutes timer. So the timer starts now, and please start your presentation.
Can you open your my PPT? I
Yeah,
can't see my PPT, but so I can do the presentation.
this is the PowerPoint. People can see it, I think.
Sorry, but where is the PowerPoint? I can't find it.
I shared it on my screen. You can just continue your presentation.
May I comment, please? The only screen I see is the welcome page. Welcome to the
Yes,
Youth
the welcome page.
Forum. Is the blue backgrounded page is what I see here.
Oh, I'm
Me
so sorry.
too, me too.
I'm so sorry.
So my time is still counted?
Now what I see is Jessica. I see you.
Me too. Oh, here I see. How about my time? Sorry, but
We'll restart.
can you restart? Yeah, restart it.
Start talking.
Okay, good evening. My name is William from St. Delta International High School. Today, I represent my team, Deltas, to come to this competition and introduce you our project, SSS Plan. Next page. Next page, please. Yeah, these are the 4 parts of today's presentation. Please view it briefly. Next page. So firstly, what is Deltas? A student organization dedicated to protecting the environment. Next page. So these are our history. Please view it. And we used to join the CTB competition and got a very good result. Though coronavirus obstructed our project, now we restarted with great confidence. Okay, next page. Secondly, I will introduce you the SSS plan, which means Solar St. Delta, which is my school soon. The core of the plan is promoting solar energy at our school. These are the 4 main participants in the whole process. We can see Deltas is the starter of the project of the whole process, and it will find solar manufacturers and persuade the school to give up permission. And the solar manufacturer will give a professional implementation plan, which we have already done. And the school will give up permission to that. And we will also find investors in the society. School will pay them electricity bill, which I will mention them later. And also the investor will just pay for the whole implementation money for the solar station. Next page. It's not hard to understand the whole process of the third-party investment. The key point is the investor become the national grid and charge a school electricity fee, but just a little bit less than the normal one. And so it becomes beneficial to both parts, the school and the investors and the school. Next page. Next page. Yeah, so now 2 manufacturers give us professional implementation plans. So here we can see it takes 5 point, the page before, please. It takes 5.03 years to recover the investment, and the total investment is 50,000 yuan. And the other I didn't show is 4.5 years to recover, and the total investment is 60,000 yuan. So it's not too much. Next page. Next page, please. And here is another more detailed picture about the cost and benefit. I will show it later if we have time. Next page. So here I will show you the significance of the SS plan, bringing more benefits than most solar buildings do. How? Let's see. Next page. The most important is surely environmental benefits. I won't spend too much time on that because it's the consensus. Solar energy will be the future and it waits for no one. Next page. Next page, please. So just move the pictures one by one. So here, I think it will be super cool to have this kind of laboratory to teach students solar energy, renewable sources, even environmental protection, generation, and generation. So its educational meaning will be also very big. So just go to the next page, show them the pictures, please. Yeah, that's just our concepts and the effect maybe like. Move on, just move on. Yep, we can, it's very easy for them to learn. And also some foreign schools have already do that in the US. And I will talk about that later. So now I will talk about our future, promoting more schools to use solar power. Now the key is leading more schools to take this action on the base of successfully finishing SSS plan. We will persuade more school or advocate more school to do that. We can also try other fields because now we can see we are the middleman in this whole process. It's a very easy character. We may try something new. Next page. Next page. So now I have to mention a website from the US. It's a famous environmental protection organization, Generation 180. It's our goal, advocating more students to promote their school to turn to cleaner energy, solar one. And we can see many students from America have already done what we are doing now. Okay, just show them pictures. Yeah, these students, they have already success, and we hope we can. And at last, I will talk about the thing that you may help us. Firstly, collaborate with us to help us better achieve our dream. And secondly, help us find more investors and other resources in the society. We are now finding some investors. And thirdly, give us some instructions during the forest steps. And finally, point out some mistakes we have and the solution to those. We know we are not perfect, and we hope we can better improve that. Thank you. That's all. Go to next page. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Now it's the Q&A time for him, and the Q&A session will last 5 minutes long. Does anyone from the jury have any comments or questions for him?
Yes, please. Thank you for your presentation. I would like you to summarize in one sentence your business idea. What do you say in one sentence to a person that has never heard of your business idea? One sentence. Think of it as an elevator pitch. In 30 seconds, you need to clarify it. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think as a middleman, our jobs is just collaborating the school, the manufacturers, and the investors. We need to persuade them to give them our ideas and to show them the balance between the revenue and the cost to persuade all of them to give us help and to make this project real.
Thank you. I will give you one advice. No matter what happens to you in the competition, like will you be one of the top ones or not, I wish you good luck. And I would like to encourage you to learn face-to-face and online pitching. to clarify your thoughts more. Because you need to, when you go to investors, you need to be well prepared to be very precise and clear in a couple of minutes, say 3 minutes. The pitching must be very, very diamond clear. Good luck.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments. Does any other judges have any comments for him?
I have a question as well. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about a lot of successful projects in America. Have you tried to contact them and see how they did it? How they pitched their speech to the investors? Their success strategy that would actually help you in finding investors.
Yes, I try to communicate with them while it's not a very successful story. However, they just put their experience online and make some booklets and some. I'm sorry.
Sorry, please continue.
Okay, and though I didn't just officially have some collaboration with them while we contact on the email, they just I just follow their way on the online, because they just put their experience online, and many experience I show you here is from that website. They just put your experience, and I think that's very useful and helpful for me on my way to this project. Yes.
Yes. Also, the presentation was a bit hard to understand because everything went very fast. I think you need to focus on having a very clear image in your head about what needs to be said, especially when you're talking to investors, like the previous person said. You need to have a very, very clear image, because when it jumbles up, it's very confusing and they will probably not know what you're talking about in the end.
Yes,
Okay, thank
yes,
you
I
for,
know.
our
Thank
time
you.
is up. We have to continue to our next participant. So next
Okay,
up we have
thank you
AI1.
for inviting me.
Okay, so AI1 Music, we have to start your timer right now.
Okay. So hello everyone, I'm Zhang Tianyi, the CEO of AI1 Music team. Next slide. The presentation will be divided into 4 parts. The first part is team introduction. Next slide. Our team has 4 members and the division of labor between us is very clear. Mike, CTO, Jason, COO, Sally, CFO and music controller. Yes, display, and me, CEO. Next slide. The management framework is quite easy now, but with our development, we will have more partners and members, and the framework will be more complex. Next slide. The product introduction. Next page. Yes, for product introduction, AI1 Music platform allow people to use AI to get inspirations to write lyrics and generate song works through technologies such as speech, accompaniment, and song synthesis. Next. Plus, users can share their works on AI1 Music's Exchange community or on other social media for others to enjoy. Our aim is to let users to experience the magical charm of AI writing and the joy of composing music. And also, our product can be used for mental care, which means patients can use our platform to create music to calm down their nerves and get relaxed. To sum up, these are the main functions. Please put back 1 page. So anyway, next for SWOT and marketing plans. For strengths, we bring better music creation experience to music lovers. The product itself is highly interactive. For weaknesses, the technology is not fully developed yet, and we need platforms and funds for product promotion. For opportunities, judging from the existing data, the music market is very impressive and many people expressed their interest in using AI1 music. For stress, as our product will be a whole new thing to the public, enabling consumers to accept it requires more time and requires more capital investment in product development and advertisement. Next slide. Based on the above analysis, we have considered the marketing plan. In terms of publicity, we plan to cooperate with websites such as Perfect Rhyme to get traffic from each other and construct the website together. Cooperate with Beijing New Charity Alliance to gather user data and test the function of charity mental care. We expect that the platform can accumulate more than 2,000 visits after 1 month of use and maintain more than 50 visits per day after 3 months. After half a year, we will finish our development of sub-functions and conduct secondary publicity based on the relatively matured functions. And from then on, as the product is more comprehensive, we will start putting advertisements in social networks such as WeChat and Weibo. In terms of profitability, we plan to adopt a paid membership system. AI1 Music will provide non-members with unlimited free song creation opportunities and 1 to 2 trial rights for advanced features and guide them to purchase members. At the same time, we would add third-party music-related advertisements such as musical instrument sales on the website to obtain advertising revenue. Next slide. As for intellectual property protection, the accompaniment currently used on our platform is authorized and allowed to be publicity. In the future, an independent music creation team will be established to enrich the accompaniment library. At present, the lyrics are clouded through the NetEase Cloud Music Library, and machine learning isn't involved in the copyright issue. The copyright of the music generated by the users through the platform shall be jointly owned by the platform and the users. Next slide. The above is the general content of AI1 Music. Please see the demo.
First, in the AI Songs module, the user can enter a sentence at the top and then click Start With to use AI to generate lyrics. Next, they can pick something they like from the generated sentence, assemble and recreate them, and enter them into the first line. Then name the song in the second line, enter the album name in the third line, and click Start Creating to view it in the Songs module. After the sound is generated, click the play button to play the song.
I'm sorry. Sorry to
Next slide.
interrupt. It's up.
Yep. Next slide. Okay, so this is the end of our presentation. Please give your comments on it. Thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna have our Q&A right now. So any of the jury members have any comments for them? What about Leslie? Do you have any comments for them?
Oh, my first impression is actually, it's very interesting. So that's my first impression. And I think the presenter did a very good job in demoing this. So it becomes quite visual to us all. So my question is actually, so what's the stage right now of this product and how are we going to take it forward? And how are you going to apply in which market?
Is Sally here?
No, it's
Yeah.
Leslie.
Can I also answer because I'm in the same team with.
Yes.
So for what stage we are in now, as you can see in the demo, we can already generate song works through technology such as speech, accompaniment, and sound synthesis. And our stage is basically what you saw in the demo. And can I ask what's your other questions? Pardon.
Oh, the other question is how are you going to apply? What is your main, number one, the target in terms of geography? And number two, who is the main target audience to take it commercial?
Okay, so our main target, actually, our goal of this, our AI1 Music is to design this music production patient convenience system and to support people in isolation due to something like COVID-19. So actually everyone is our target audience, but especially people who are interested in music and music creation are our best target audience. But actually everyone can use it. So our market is very large. So that's actually another advantage of our product. And the third question, sorry, because you're asking like a lot
Too
of
fast. Thank you, Sally. So that's great. It's just very curious. So that's a wonderful idea. Now, after you do that, what is like how easy for all the consumers, users, to do it? Like how they're going to output, how they're going to then use for themselves, or how they're going to social share with what is the format basically after you create such a tool or utility for them?
They can use it for themselves. As we say, everyone can create their own song as shown in the demo. But this is also something like a social platform because everyone can show the songs they create to this like social platform, to this iOne Music platform, and every people who are using this iOne Music system can see others projects. So basically, they can also cooperate with others and share ideas. So yeah, that's how it works. I think is that what you mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so that's pretty much time, and we have to move on to our next participant. Next we have Carly and Catherine, and your timer starts whenever you're ready.
Could you start on our first slide, please? Okay, thank you.
Hi, we're Carly and Catherine. We created Safe Snacks, a WeChat mini program that matches customers to food vendors. It alerts customers about discounts and helps vendors limit their food waste. Next slide.
Next slide, please. Picture this. It's dark out and you're craving some creamy, good Italian pasta. And you want to head out to your favorite nearby restaurant, but eating out's expensive. On the flip side, let's imagine you're a restaurant owner and it's an hour or so before closing time, and you can see that you still have loads and loads of surplus food. In 2018 alone, Chinese canteens and restaurants wasted over 16 million kilograms of food. Where does this food go? It piles up in food waste, piles up as food waste, and as it burns, it releases methanes and contributes to global warming. This is where the problem lies. Surplus food from vendors builds up and contributes to global warming. Next slide, please.
This is where Safe Snacks comes in. Next slide, please. This is where Safe Snacks comes in. Customers can bookmark their favorite food vendors and be alerted on discounts, and vendors can sell their surplus stock at discounted prices, increasing customer flow and limiting their profit loss. Next slide, please.
So where's the opportunity for Safe Snacks right now? Firstly, due to the quarantine regulations, you have a rise in smartphone usage. Secondly, you also have an increase in WeChat mini program users. And since Safe Snacks is a mini program fully integrated into the WeChat ecosystem, it offers ultimate convenience for both consumers and food vendors. Lastly, you also have a burgeoning food waste management movement in China, as seen by new recycling systems in big cities such as Shanghai. Next slide, please.
Safe Snacks has two target market categories: food vendors and customers living in Chinese urban cities. Firstly, food vendors, including restaurants, grocery stores, and bakeries in urban areas. To ensure food safety, all vendors must have satisfactory or excellent cleaning inspection grades. Next slide.
Next slide, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Our second focus of target market is the individual consumer. And we're targeting women and wives who are primarily focused in being in charge of the food in families. And we also target single dweller millennials and college students who have a more eco-friendly and budget-focused mindset. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. Yeah. The startup capital is a little over $1 million RMB and will be spent predominantly on human resources, or in other words, employees. The rest will be spread out through 5 categories. Next slide.
After developing an MVP of Safe Snacks, we plan to send it to crowdfunders to receive feedback. Afterwards, we'll launch to more consumers and food vendors. So how are we going to expand our food vendor network? We plan to network and pitch our product to various food restaurant chains, bakeries, and grocery stores just to expand the amount of options available to consumers. Secondly, in order to expand our consumer base, we will utilize 3 main marketing strategies. Firstly, social media banner ads on WeChat, Weibo, and TikTok. Secondly, spokesperson promotion. And lastly, special events such as user-to-friend referral rewards. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. Yeah. Safe Snacks will have 3 main revenue streams. Firstly, data monetization. Customers can sign up with personal information for memberships with access to better discounts. Secondly, click-based in-app advertisements. And thirdly, 0.01% perpetual royalty off the discounted transactions between vendors and customers. Next slide, please.
In regards to our projections, we estimate that in our first year, we'll have around 200,000 users. And the second year, we'll scale up to 9 urban districts in Shanghai. And lastly, in the third year, we'll expand to an additional 2 cities for a total of 3 cities, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Beijing. Next slide, please.
To protect the Safe Snacks branding and intellectual property, we plan to trademark our name, logo, and slogan to emphasize our company's core goals of achieving customer convenience and helping the environment. Similarly, we'll also copyright our app design icons and our advertisements. In regards to agreements with employees and partners, we'll use confidentiality contracts to protect the Safe Snacks mini program idea and code from leaking to the public and other competition. Next slide.
On the topic of legalities, we will have, we'll be a limited liability company and we'll focus on tackling 3 main legal issues. Firstly is our privacy policy. We will be monetizing data usage. So in order to make this process as transparent as possible, we will need to make clear what data will be collected, how the data will be used, which third party, in this case food vendors, will use the data, and if the users can change their information later on. After the users sign up with their information, they must agree to our terms and conditions or else we will not monetize the data. Secondly, we need to make sure that we are held accountable as a company as we expand and scale up to different cities, since these might have different business regulations and different tax regulations. This combines sort of the second and third point in our slide. And lastly, as a company, we also need to make sure that we are registered and operating legally. Next slide, please. Speed this up a little bit.
Currently, we plan to utilize a flat organizational structure for Safe Snacks, which will work well for a small number of employees. The 3 main teams.
Sorry to interrupt, but the time is up. Could you wrapping up?
Yep, we got it. Okay. Safe Snacks will be on the frontier of the growing waste management movement. And if you want to save food and save cash, use Safe Snacks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Sorry, my laptop might be a little bit delayed. So I click next slide, but you have to wait for a while. So for the next teams, you can just continue your presentation while I'm turning the slide. Okay. Does any of the jury members has any questions for them or comments?
This is Leslie. Oh, sorry, someone. Just one minute. So I really like the dual presentation. I think your teamwork that worked very well, and it's very clear, organized in terms of flow. Even actually without we see it, you have already thought about your target market, how big is the wallet size, your legality, all that. So it's running, and you already have the concept of running a real business. So it's a good job. So congratulations. Obviously, there's lots of information in one for us to digest, but I think overall it's a very well organized presentation. So we enjoyed it.
Thank you.
This is Hanna-Liisa speaking. Yeah, I would like to congratulate you as well. It was clearly presented. And then not to forget it, I would like to give you one benchmark tip. There's a company called Wolt, W-O-L-T, that you should check out. It's a cruise company. expanding globally. The idea is close to your idea. They use delivery services to deliver the leftover food from restaurants to homes. They've got major investments globally, expanding rapidly. And I think the last investment they got was around 30 million euros, something. It's enormously growing. So WOLT.com.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I say something as well? So it's Luca, and I also have something that you may want to check out. It's called Too Good to Go, and it's almost the same as what I hear you want to do. It's also a company that focuses on food waste and working with restaurants, but also supermarkets. So the supermarkets will actually give you baskets of what they can't give out to customers anymore, and you get it for a really, really low price. I think you would like to check that out. This is very similar to what you want to do.
I think our main focus, since our target market is in China, that's why we focused on using a platform like a mini program, so it could be more accessible, because through our research, our most direct competition doesn't really target sort of coupons and having like streamlined alerts to users in China.
Right.
That time?
Okay.
Yep, the time is up.
Okay, great.
Thank you, everyone.
So now we're gonna invite one of our guest speakers, Christina Hallett, to give us a talk on some topics related to how entrepreneurs can relieve the stress and stuff. Dr. Christina Hallett, are you here?
I am.
Great. It's great to see you. Okay, so I'll hand it over to you right now.
Wonderful. This is so exciting. And thank you for having me here. To be successful in business, one of the things that you clearly need to have is an ability to communicate with others effectively, to be able to take commentary and feedback, to actually be able to manage criticism, rejection, and failure. Now, none of those are bad. That's how you learn and grow, which is extraordinarily important. But to keep in mind, the only way to manage effectively integrating feedback that you get without then feeling bad about yourself is to be practicing your superpower of self-compassion. We understand what it means to be compassionate to others. So when there's someone that we care about and they're going through difficulty, absolutely, we have feelings of caring for them and wanting to assist and support them. Unfortunately, what we often do, particularly as entrepreneurs, is that we have internal negative thoughts towards ourselves. And that gets in the way of success. So as many of you were thinking about preparing your presentations, I'm sure that there were moments in which you were afraid it wouldn't be good enough, that you wouldn't do a good job. And maybe even after you gave your presentation, you thought, oh no, how could I have done this or that? That wasn't what I wanted. I'm no good. Now, the truth of the matter is you are good. You are worthy. Absolutely. So this negative internal thinking gets in the way of you being as successful as you can be. And that's why you've got to learn and practice the skill of self-compassion. Self-compassion has 3 parts to it. The first is common humanity, understanding that all human beings have the same nervous system, the same range of emotions and feelings, and every human being encounters struggles and difficulties. So when you feel like, oh, I'm not as good as the rest, the very first thing to do is to remember that you are a human being like all human beings, and everyone encounters struggle. The second element of self-compassion is kindness. And literally what that means is treating yourself with the kindness that you treat those that you love and care about. So for example, let's say something like this. You're in a competition and your thoughts are all saying, I'm not going to do well, this isn't good enough, or I messed something up. If you then go to being unkind to yourself, saying things like, I'm a loser, I'm no good, I'll never succeed. The way that you can think about it is, imagine, would you say those same things to someone that you love and care about? Think of your best friend or a family member. Would you look at your best friend or your family member and say, you're a loser, you will never succeed, you're no good? No, you would not say those things to someone that you love and care about. And so noticing when you're having these negative thoughts that come up, or these fears and worries, and then imagining if it isn't something you would say to someone else, treat yourself with that same kindness and don't say it to yourself. The third element of self-compassion is mindfulness, which literally means being present in the current moment without judgment. And judgment, without judgment, that's the most important part that you have for this. Because when you're being unkind in your own mind to yourself, you're judging who you are and your worth. And that will actually get in the way of your business success. Another way to think about mindfulness is to think about mindfulness as courageous presence, meaning it takes courage and energy to be present in the moment without being unkind to yourself. So to review, self-compassion, recognizing your common humanity, treating yourself with the kindness that you would treat someone that you love or care about, and then being mindful or courageously present in the moment and not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. As you practice those three elements, what this does is it allows you to truly hold yourself accountable for the actions that you have taken or are taking in the moment. Self-compassion does not allow you to do things with impunity. It does not say, oh, it's fine, okay, I made a mistake, no big deal. Self-compassion is about being objective and recognizing exactly what choices you've made, how you've made them, and then looking at them in a kind manner to see how you may improve to go forward. So the other piece regarding self-compassion is the more you practice treating yourself well and with self-compassion, the more you are able to have compassion for others. And this allows you to increase the connections and strengthen the relationships that you have with other people. All of this together helps you build the confidence that you're going to need moving forward in the business world. There is no way for any of us to learn and grow without stumbling, falling, and making mistakes. Mistakes on their own are not bad. What matters is when you stumble or have a mistake, how do you deal with it? What do you do? If you use the mistake as an opportunity to learn, to alter your practices, to move forward in a different direction, then in fact, it's been a growth experience. And we understand that growth is good. But the only way that you're effectively going to be able to have the confidence to manage those stumbles that come along in everyone's career is when you truly practice the skill, and it is a skill, of self-compassion.
Thank you for sharing. Is that all it? Does anyone have any questions for Christina Hallett? So anyone has any question for Dr. Christina Hallett, please type it in the chat box and we'll move on. So now we're gonna have some other participants from TBC to present to us. And first we're gonna have Tina Rome. And yeah, I think you're playing the slides on your own, right?
Yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. 1 second.
All right.
You can share a screen now.
Oh, it says like the host disabled screen, attendee screen share.
I just enabled that.
Oh, all right. I see it now. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Tina Rong. It is my great honor to present you to the idea of the contactless buses. Oh. The idea of this product comes from people's concerns regarding their health and privacy protections on public transportations like regular buses or subways. It is interesting to notice that problems like transmission of virus between passengers, as well as like sexual harassment cases reported by females taking buses, all come from physical contact between passengers, individuals. This product, the contactless buses, would prevent interpersonal contacts and thus eliminating potential transmission of disease or privacy issues. As you can see, these are some typical examples of the current condition of the buses in China. People are like overwhelming the buses, and it's highly threatening to people's health when a pandemic came, such as the COVID-19, and even when a flu attacks the city. On the contrary, this is a simple visualization of the contactless bus. As you can see, passengers will sit in the small compartments, which is in the egg shape, while a large control panel will be carrying the small compartments. Each compartment will have a seat, an air filter layer, and an outer shell to segregate each individual passenger. This is just like a primary thought, which this visualization will be modified for more practical usage. For example, like I'm considering the honeycomb structure, which would save space and be more efficient, probably. The demand of the contactless buses come from a large potential customer base, which consists of low-income citizens who are not able to afford private cars and have to take public transportation on a daily basis, as well as female who need private spaces on public transportation vehicles. And obviously, they all need a safe transportation experience with little risk of getting sick. This contactless bus would, in return, offers a private car experience on public transportation with no physical contact between passengers. And if this product gets popularized, and even those who own private cars take this bus, it can also achieve the goal of reducing carbon footprints eliminated by private cars. And as for the market, there are two types of customers for this product. The first is the direct customer, which is the traffic management department from the government, and the transportation companies, which are in charge of ordering and managing the buses. These customers would return our initial profit by buying the product. And there's also the indirect customer, which is the public, and transportation passengers. These are the indirect customers which would bring continuous profit over long periods of time by continuously taking the bus. Okay, in this chart provides a overall cost distribution, and the final cost of one prototype would be $26,700. And this is the market strategy, which we will first pitch to the Ministry of National Subtransport for the permission of application on a large scale, which includes getting the certification of effectively preventing transmission of the virus. and then we will raise equity fund from the investors and put into use by negotiating with transportation corporations. And investors will have the major ownership of the contactless bus patent, and future management include continuous advertisement and cooperation between the government, transportation corporations, the investors, and myself. Why to invest? First of all, it's pretty high in demand because low-income citizens who have to take public transportation in order to travel between places. And also, the local government is also looking for a decreasing crime rate, which the case of theft or sexual harassment would decrease if the contactless buses are put into use. And also, it has a long-term profit for the investors because this bus is not only limited to the COVID-19 pandemic, it is also applicable for other times, and it's also efficient in preventing flu spread. And public transportation will also continuously face large amount of customers because people have to travel between areas. And this is the end. Thank you so much for listening, and please take this product into consideration.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Does anyone from the jury has any comments for her?
Yeah, I could have a short comment, please. Something I've been thinking during these presentations in total is competition. When you start a business, you're never alone in the marketplace. There is a lot of competition. There are complementing services that can replace your idea, or the other ones, once they start competing with you, they iterate the idea to a better direction than where your idea was at the starting point. So bear in mind, there is a lot of competition in the business world. And regards to this idea, I would say that there will be competition. What we see in the marketplace in smart mobility at the moment is services that bring, for example, single cars, electrical cars to city environments, which can be operated and purchased through mobile applications. So I would like you to think about that. If there are small electrical cars, which are zero emission cars operated by mobile applications, there are certain countries at least where your solution might not be the ideal one, but it might be ideal one in China. So you need to look at the environment, the markets, in which markets this particular transportation solution has the most potential. Good luck.
Thank you.
Does any other judges have any comments for her or questions? Does Ms. Emma Chen-Banas have any comments for her?
I'm just wondering from a profitability perspective, because this model is contactless, is very good concept, but it's compared to the current ratio. So I think you will carry less passengers. So then how you balancing your number of passengers and also the price you're going to charge, and also the overall, because right now, if you look at the current model, right, without this contactless model, so you will carry tens and thousands of people a day, but with this contactless model, so how you balancing your passenger load with your current model? That is my question.
Okay, thank you for your question. I'm also thinking about, like, this might be a primary concern of this product, And I'm thinking of changing the shape of the prototype because I'm thinking of the honeycomb structure, which will allow the bus to carry more passengers and it can like rotate. So it will actually contain the same amount of passengers as the current regular buses because it is actually just dividing the dividing the passengers into like smaller areas, but it is still like carrying the same amount of passengers. It's just like segregating them.
Thank you.
Does any judges from our peer judges have any comments for her? Okay, apparently no one has any comments anymore. Let's move on. So for the next group, we have Aegis Trinity, I think. Is that how you pronounce your name? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're sharing the PowerPoint yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so our product, Just Trinity, is an English learning app, which can improve our pronunciation by comparing our facial expression. It works on any phone equipped with an advanced camera, and it's for people with a certain foundation of English. Adjust means the correction of accents and pronunciation, and nurturing a native English accent. Trinity means pronunciation practice, learning phonetic symbols, and real-time earphone response. Next slide. With our product, you can learn and review phonics symbols anytime and anywhere. This process is much easier compared to learning from a textbook or a video. You can hear the standard pronunciation, pronounce and simultaneously hear what you pronounced and giving you a feedback about whether your pronunciation is qualified or not. If not, you can see an animation on the screen on your face showing that what your face should do to make your pronunciation better. And you can also use this to learn vocabularies or full sentence, even paragraphs. By analyzing it, it will give you a feedback on every word and a total suggestion, since most accents are infecting all of the words a person pronounced. Another part is real-time earphone response. It can help you to hear what you are saying when you are learning using learning with a earphone. For most people, you cannot exactly realize what sound you've pronounced. And if you record your sound and compare it to what you hear when you're pronouncing, you'll find that they are very different. So the function can reduce this difference. Next slide. And you can see here, there are basically three kinds of apps in the online educational industry right now. We are the only one containing the three functions in the right side box. That is pronounce and get real-time feedback, interact with application, and having a video or picture demonstration that is generated only for you. Next slide. For our English learning software platform, there is an input and an output framework just like this. As you can see in PowerPoint, and also our product can use users' facial recordings for our machine learning, and which can reduce our cost of recording people's faces when they are pronouncing. Next slide.
So for our clients can be mainly divided into students, translators, and foreign corporation employees. And first, for students, Just Trinity can help them improve their general oral English and achieve a native English oral proficiency. And second, for translators and the interpreters already have a solid foundation in English, Just Trinity can help them with accurate language structure and maybe adjust their details. Finally, for the corporations, they can take Just Trinity as a part of their employee language training, like use other training in their induction training or some other circumstances.
Okay, and here's our marketing strategies. Because we are developed for the specific niche market with narrow range of consumers and accurate user profile, we can hit their pain point directly. Thus, we think the user conversion rate will be relatively high. And, in terms of product promotion and marketing, we will be advertising on social media, but we pay more attention to our own quality. So we will cooperate with universities and enterprises in the hope that we can expand the number of users and get good reviews through the word of mouth marketing. And here's a SWOT analysis of our products. In our first year, it is a trial operation, which means we did not enter the market directly, but we use a closed beta test and collaborations with companies and universities to promote our products. And many graduates from domestic colleges and universities are limited by their English speaking skills, which sometimes prevent them from displaying their superiority in academic ability. As we know, executives in a foreign company prefer to employ applicants that are fluent in English, and they are also willing to pay for their providing English training for their employees. So by collaborating with foreign companies, we can reduce their training cost and help their employees to learn oral English at a deeper level with the highest proficiency. And in order to expand the market, we chose to set a phase data collection center around the world in the second year when the product was officially launched, so as to increase the compatibility of the product with phases and thus changing from a B2B product to a B2C product. By analyzing the profit statement, we can know that after 5 years of proper operation, we can reach the break-even point, and we will continuously make money by subscribing to and process data models. And we have also made a demonstration.
Which is phenomenon and synthesis.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the time is up. Could you please wrap up the rest of the content? Hello? Hi there. Sorry, the time is up.
Great, so we're gonna jump right into their Q&A session. Does any of the judges have any comments or questions for them? Please unmute yourself if you're talking. Okay, so does Leslie have any comments for them?
Oh, actually, because the last few minutes, I will say, of the presentation was a little bit blurred in the sound. So if we could trouble the presenter, just give us a 1-minute summary of what is business, I think it would be great.
Okay, so basically the thing is when you are pronouncing a word, your pronunciation is highly based or related to your facial structure. So we can use the depth camera, for example, the camera on iPhone X, and use it to capture your facial motion, and it can detect your it can capture your facial model, and thus giving you a suggestion about adjusting your pronunciation. And this is the very basic function, and you can divide it into like many uses, just like I've mentioned before, like learning sentences or vocabularies. Yeah, that's basically about the same.
Thank you. Because a few years back, I think while we were in the US, someone actually did mention very similar software. So I'm very curious about the application of the software. As actually at the beginning, we probably already mentioned, say like our mommydaddymeet.com platform, we also do some of the learning related. Although we do the live teaching, and I think the software like helping automation on some of the quality and you know, self-paced learning, I think it will be quite interesting, obviously. Particularly, I think for the Greater China users, are very, very keen on how to improve their pronunciation, and it's forever desire for them to improve their English skills. So I think your product definitely has a market. So I'm just very curious to see, and I hope I can see more of the true application of your cases, or maybe it hasn't come to that stage yet. In terms of
yeah, actually I made a demo and it's in the video, but the time is really limited. So if you want, I can show you the video. It's better for you to know how it worked.
Yeah, and the feedback. So after the learner has adjusted the pronunciation based on your software, were there any further feedback by the system to either measure or grade how they have improved, or it's just the user itself will feel the progress and difference they make?
I think they themselves can feel the difference, but of course, well, if you pronounce well, the system won't say you are pronouncing something wrong.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's the next step of the software, because this software obviously has the need from the market. Yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you so much. Does any other judges have any comments for them? Well, let's see if any peer judges have any comments for them. Luca, do you have any comments or questions?
I don't really have a lot to say, but I would like to ask if this is only for, is this marketed toward Asia, or is it also marketed towards the rest of the world? Because a lot of people study English because it's a very broad language. And then have you thought about how to market it to the rest of the world if that's what you want to do?
Yeah, of course. Actually, what we are talking about, like only learning English for Chinese people, is only a very basic function. And because we have the technology, it's very easy to enlarge our platform for other people in the rest of the world, and also for other languages like Spanish, Italian, or even Mandarin. So yeah, so I think the future of this kind of technology should be very broad.
Thank you so much. I think that's pretty much time. And we're gonna move on. So our next participant, Tiger, has some emergencies today and he's not joining us today. So we will not give scores for him, and yeah, and we're gonna move on. So next up we'll have George Gao from Silicon Valley. Well, I think George is playing a PowerPoint on his own, right? Yep, great.
Roger, if you're ready, you can start.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, I am Great George. I am from Peel Academy. With the summer project, I like Polly, so we did Polly King Robot. Next slide. I am from Apple Spaceship, California, USA. My presentation will cover the following. You can see them. Next slide. We did development every day, 2 hours. Using Python code, many libraries, text-to-speech, speech recognition, Total Web Browser, NumPy, OpenCV. Python is good. Our code is ready for demo. Our code also shared by other robots. Next slide. Here is demo, text-to-speech, speech recognition, Polity Assistant. I am Polity Key. Left is screen display, right is video display. Please take a look. Next slide. I like Polity. My teacher told me there is a guy named Maslow. He said people first need eat, sleep, house, then need safety. Good sleep, good meal. After that, people want love, want social, want Polity. Polity social love. I wish I can show you many panoramas from internet about it. Everybody need it. Next slide. Polity Assistant, Polity King. I like to have robots to help. Have software, have hardware, sensors, display, camera, all technology connected to serve the people, to satisfy people, to make people have good quality social love. Next slide. A Polity King is an appliance using Python code. A Python app has a robot on display, talk, chat with other devices. Can control. Next slide. How many want to buy? I guess a lot. A robot will be made and sold plus monthly service fee. How about $300 a piece? Like a broom bot. Monthly fee $3 a cup of milk tea. $23 million US dollars as one-time sale. $3 million every year coming. Next slide. Okay, party time. Thank you all. Please ask me questions. I will let my party team to answer. Thank you.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions for him? I think apparently everyone can tell that he's kind of young comparing to the other participants. And yeah, so the following participants from Silicon Valley are from the like underage group. So they're younger than the participant presented previously. So yeah, but we're gonna have the same standards to judge their ideas as the previous participants. So please feel free to ask them any questions that you have. Does Ms. Hannah Lisa Johnson have any questions for him or comments?
Can you hear me? Now you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I would like to encourage you to kind of highlight certain parts in your pitch, in your presentation. Those kind of sections and ideas that you think are the most
Sorry, you're breaking up. Can't hear you. Okay, I think Ms. Hannah Lisa Johnson wants you to highlight something from your presentation.
Okay.
What parts do you think are the highlights of your project?
the Party King robot?
I think the solution.
Can you tell us more about that? It's fine. Just tell us more about like why do you think your solution is a highlight of your product?
Hi, this is Emma. Just one quick
Hi.
question. This is a good concept. However, I'm just wondering how this Party King make people happier at the party. What does this guy or she or whatever robot do? Can you give example, quick examples? Thank you.
Party King robot help you and then serve you food, anything you want with just voice.
Okay, thank you.
It can serve you a good meal, a good sleep.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for your responses. I would also like to mention, since like George Gao is from Silicon Valley in California, they're waking up like very early in the morning. So yeah, thank you for waking up so early for us.
Okay.
If people doesn't have any questions for you, we're gonna move on to our next participant. So yeah, coming up next, we have Duncan Tao, also from Silicon Valley, I guess. I think you're sharing your own PowerPoint, right? Hi. Is Duncan here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Can you share your PowerPoint and start your presentation?
Hold on, yeah. So I can just start whenever I'm ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Duncan Saul, and my project name is the Internet of Things AI Robot Human Chef Assistant Dr. Chef. Next slide. Many people enjoy many different things in the world. Many people enjoy to cook in the world. I personally really enjoy to cook. And at first, I found it quite difficult to learn how to cook well. And I needed to carry around a recipe with me. And my recipe was on my mobile device. And it was becoming a bit of a handicap that I had to use my dirty hands to touch my mobile device. And I enjoyed cooking, but I used the recipe too much since I found it difficult to remember it like off the top of my head. And that means I had to touch my phone more or my mobile device more. And that means it got dirty like really fast. Next slide, please. I'm going to give you a couple of facts. Everyone in the world needs to eat, and 2 quality meals a day is something that most people have. And not everyone has 2 quality meals or more, or 3 quality meals a day. And that's what's so great about cooking is you can cook what you eat, and it's more cost effective. And if you enjoy it, then you get to have fun while doing it. And from my experience, I found it difficult to enjoy cooking. I don't know, but other people might find it difficult to enjoy cooking at the start too. And a robot assistant can make that process to enjoy cooking much easier. And it can also keep your kitchen clean and tidy. My solution was the Internet of Things AI Dr. Chef. And some of its features include that it is to assist you while cooking, and it provides you a recipe and a step-by-step instruction in visual form and written form. And it can keep your phone clean and tidy by being voice-centric, so you don't have to use your hands to wake up your device anymore. You can just speak to this robot and it will give you your recipe and your instructions. And you can take this robot wherever and it will still work. And so you can take it out to your campsite and it will still work, but I still prefer cooking in the kitchen. It can help develop a new recipe. So if you enjoy to create a new recipe, it can help you with that. I personally haven't tried any of it yet, but I don't know, some people do and some people enjoy it. So the options out there. It can help special people. So if you're a vegetarian or you're on a diet, then it can help you pick meals accordingly or recipes accordingly. And as mentioned before, it works with non-visual learners as well. So if you prefer a written recipe over a video, it can also provide you with that. Next slide. Why we made this machine and why it's good. It helps you to cook. So you still get to have fun while you cook, but it doesn't cook for you, unlike the other robotic chefs. It will provide you with a recipe along with a video in written form and visual form, as mentioned before. And it's customizable based on what you prefer. So if you prefer eating a certain way, it can help you pick to eat or a certain way. Or if you have to eat a certain way, it can also help you with that. The robot can also help hypertension people, people with diabetes, vegetarians, infants, and growing children. It is a Python-based software plus a mobile app plus robot execution unit. And it's also a patentable idea. So who is going to buy this machine? So if we were to assume 1 out of 10,000 people will need our robot or will find it handy, then as of 2018, 7.594 billion people are in the world. And if we were to penetrate the market at a 10% rate, it would leave us with 75,940. And if we sell a robot at $100 with a monthly subscription of $2 a month, it would leave us with $7,594,000 as a one-time fee and a yearly $1,822,560 cash flow. Next slide. The current state of the AI robot, Dr. Chef. The demo version of the robot is currently ready, and the voice functions and multimedia functions are completely ready, and the codes are shared by multiple robot projects. The demo video is made with robot Python codes. Thank you all.
Thank you for your presentation. Does any of the judges have any comments for him?
Well, I think it's a very interesting idea. I have a couple of questions. So number one, I probably missed. So what's the main function of the robot? You create the recipes or helping you cook, or you pick the recipes?
The main idea of the robot is so you won't have to be bothered to touch your personal device to look at your recipe anymore. So you can keep focused on your cooking while you still have your recipe available.
Okay, and where do we have a plan for where we're going to manufacture the robots?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I think in the pandemic situation, this is a creative idea. I think it's more, in my view, it's more about how to position it to emphasize and highlight the unique strength of this idea. So the feature, if the feature is consolidating or integrating, or you're finding all the database out of the recipe from many different cuisines, so is that what you want to do? So that you will serve, people can focus on something that really requires a human touch. So if the robot is it's the like a mega book providing of the recipes, and then there's something that you need to highlight. And where do you get all the recipes from?
You can get it from wherever you want, whatever links you can find.
Right.
You can like put in whatever you want. So yeah.
So sorry, Duncan. So in the future, you will have the recipe set. I imagine you have the recipe in the cloud or somewhere. It's like a central repository. So for your robot can extract the data, and then maybe there's a phase release of your different software, so the users can actually subscribe more of the new recipes. Is that what you're thinking in mind, or what's the plan?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Is this the idea or is already in production?
It's just an idea and it's just a demo for now. But...
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would have a comment for you. I would like you to think about the special groups, like disabled people, for example, different segments among target groups that would benefit, that this kind of innovation would bring special added value to. I think there might be something there for you to look at. Good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for your comments. So we're going to move on. Our next group here is called America 3, and they're going to share their PowerPoints themselves.
Wait, so do we start?
Yeah, you can start whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
Hello, my name is Alec Wan, and my teammates Jen Howe and Oliver. Our project is called an Internet of Things AI robot senior care assistant, Miss Lucy. Next slide, please. Next slide. We're a team of 7th grade developers from Silicon Valley in California. Our presentation will be about the problem. Wait, can you go back, please? Wait, my Zoom just crashed.
Then probably you can ask some other of your group members to.
Okay, I'll be back up. We are a team of
I'm
7th grade developers from Silicon Valley in California. And the first presenter's name is Alec Wen, and his teammates are me and Oliver Drew. My name is Zhenhao Chi. Our presentation will focus on the problem, the solution, including the software and hardware base, and the market of glasses.
So this summer we developed the following codes for Robot Miss Lucy.
This summer we developed the following Python codes for the robot Miss Lucy. There will be a lot of images showing what it does. Next slide. This is what it looks like when it just starts. This is a demo version, and the voice and the text is not what it will be in the finals. But this is just a demo that we made in Python. Next slide. This is also one of the demos, but this shows what they will do for breakfast. We are thinking of making it integrate with the Dr. Chef robot, or maybe it'll just order it, because we want to make it so that it's easier to serve for the senior. Next slide. This is also part of it. This is when they want to relax, because this is what the This is what the program would do when they want to relax. They can play chess, do Sudoku, they can do a word puzzle, they can watch movies, they can do basically whatever entertainment option a senior would need. Next slide.
Okay, so the problem is senior care. There's almost 1 billion seniors over 60 in the world, and a lot of them live alone. Some of them have medical and seniority issues. They need care, and it's dangerous to live alone. Next slide. The solution for this problem is to build an Internet of Things AI robot, a senior care assistant called Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy will be a robot with hardware and software features. It will watch the seniors, use alert report, and handle emergencies if necessary. Next slide. So this is some of the software that Miss Lucy uses. Next slide.
In the hardware, there's going to be a sensor box. It will be attached to you or it will be unattached. It's going to be like an insulin pump, but without the needle. It has a lot of built-in sensors that will monitor your health. It has a temperature sensor to view your temperature to check if you have a fever or not. It can have an oxygen level fever to detect if your heart's not working properly and if there's under oxygen. And it has a light sensor to detect your skin color to check if that's normal. And there's also a GPS sensor for location tracking. And we will use cameras plus OpenCV, which is an image detection library, to detect if a senior has fell down or not. That way we don't have to put something on them in order to use a gyroscope in order to check if they fall down, because we can directly implement this into a security camera system that's already in the senior house. Next slide.
The robot will be sold as an appliance with a one-time fee and a monthly service fee to provide connection and care services. We will have better technology than existing medical alert services and provide more services in different locations. We will assume a one-time fee of $900 for the robot and a monthly fee of $20 to provide connection and care. With this information, we can assume that we will get 13 million proceeds and $3.6 million yearly recursive. Next slide. A main part of a senior's life is to stay healthy. And to stay healthy, many of them need to take medicines. Miss Lucy will remind seniors to take the medicines and avoid missed or double taken medicines. Miss Lucy will also monitor any failing or abnormal body functions. And if any are happening, Miss Lucy will contact the doctor, family, and emergency care if necessary. Miss Lucy will check if the side effects of drugs are taking place and communicate with seniors and the doctors. If the drug levels are running low, Miss Lucy will order them from the pharmacy or ask the doctor to prescribe more. Miss Lucy will also schedule regular checkups for seniors. Next slide.
The demo start now.
Sir and madam, good morning, welcome, the demo start now.
Monsieur et madame, bonjour, bienvenue, la démo commence maintenant.
シャーとマダム、おはようございます。ようこそ、今すぐデモを開始します。
女士和先生们，早上好，欢迎光临，演示现在开始。
Prelude Internet of Things AI robot.
This invention is an IoT AI robot that takes care of seniors.
Miss Smith lives alone in her house, over 70, generically healthy.
She is sleeping now and will be woken up by music.
Now we will start. Dear Miss Smith,
A very good morning to you.
may this day bring a healthy light upon you.
You are energized and will stay positive for the whole day.
Smile. The day has started.
You need to do your routine checkup.
Let me assist you.
Today, we will check your blood pressure, sugar level, and temperature.
Wonderful. You are very healthy, everything is normal.
Now it is medicine time.
Please take the medicines. Now it is time for breakfast.
Country style,
Chinese style,
French style,
Mexico style.
Korea style,
Which one to choose?
Chinese.
You said Chinese.
Is the meal good? I hope you enjoy it. Would you like some coffee, tea, dessert?
Coffee?
Enjoy. Here it is. Now what would you like to do now?
You said watch a movie.
The demo is finished. Thank you all for your time.
La démo est terminée pour aujourd'hui. Merci à tous pour votre temps. デモは今日のために終了しました。いつもありがとうございました。
女士和先生们，演示现在结束。谢谢光临，谢谢大家的时间，欢迎反馈。
Sir and madam, good morning, welcome. The demo start now.
Thank you.
So, thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Now I would invite some other judges who haven't speak before to give some comments and questions, whatever you have. I would ask Mr. Zion Shen if you're there. Can you give some comments or feedback for them?
Hi everyone. Yeah, is this right now just for demo or is it just only idea? Do you have any prototype based on software?
I think that does a demo count as a prototype?
Okay. So is this the answer is based on AI or just you know, it's like any specific procedures to execute the question and answers? Is it based on the AI or what?
Yeah, it's AI.
Okay.
Thank you, that's great. What about Audrey, the peer judge? Audrey, you there?
Yeah. I do have a question. Like, your team means that you have plans to actualize this. So, do you have any like financial plans for the product?
Yeah, it's right here. It says that we will assume a one-time fee of $900 and the monthly fee of $20.
Okay, thank you. So the data are based on research or just a assumption?
An assumption.
Okay, thank you. I think you can research more on the financial data.
Okay.
Great, so this is gonna be our last project, last presentation. Does any other judges have any comments for them or questions?
Very quick question. So is that similar to like an Alexa, or is something more than giving the verbal instruction or guide through the day? There's other physical assistance to the senior also.
It's kind of like Alexa, but I have a lot of sensors to monitor them, and I will also it will have physical objects, physical moving objects.
Yeah. Like Alexa just like stays there, but we planned that like this robot can like follow the senior around.
Great. I think it's a very good idea, and I think it needs a few steps to build further from the prototype. So that's an excellent idea, and it's very much needed, as you already shown to us. There's a great population of the senior need help now, and people need help. Thank you for the presentation.
And also, sorry, my Zoom crashed when we were starting the presentation. So that's why it like suddenly disappeared.
That's okay, and that's time. So thank you all for your presentations, and thank you all for your efforts, and thanks to all the judges to give your time to us and yeah, give those lovely comments and feedbacks. And now we're gonna have a voting that is available to all the members in this Zoom meeting. We're gonna launch a poll now, and all of the members of the Zoom meeting has a chance to vote for whatever idea that you prefer. And this is only gonna last for like 2 minutes, so we're gonna close it at exactly 9:01 p.m. China time.
May I have a question, please?
Yes.
Does this voting exclude the professional judges?
No, actually. You can vote if you like.
All right, thank you.
Just a kindly reminder, if you want to poll, just click the polling, this icon at the bottom of the Zoom, and then you can start to poll. Thank you. You can just click the polling icon, which is at the bottom of Zoom.
Well, actually, no. I think the poll box will like just pop up in your Zoom. So there's
Exactly.
like a window. Yeah, so you can click on whatever you want and submit it to us. Yeah, only one poll.
You can only vote for one group that you like.
Yeah, all system works like Mac, iOS, or Windows, whatever. If you have Zoom open, even on your phone, it works. Yeah, and we're gonna close it in 3, 2, 1. Great. Thank you all for voting. And yeah, we're gonna move on to our next part, which we're gonna invite our guest speakers to talk to us, like share about their experience. So for the first speaker, we have Mr. Alberto Levy. Hi. Do you have a PowerPoint, or are you sharing it? Okay,
yeah, if you don't
that's
mind, I'm gonna quickly share this. You might be able to see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
So you tell me when to start.
You can start whenever you want. I'll just hand it over to you.
Thank you. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you for the invitation. And I want to start with Wan Chang Hao Ni Hao Ma, Wo Jiao Alberto Levy. So Jessica asked me to talk about creativity. It's one of the things that I do. Besides being an artist, I do art pieces, interactive art pieces around the world. I'm also an international speaker, and I travel the world. At least before the COVID virus, I was traveling the world to go to different places. And I help a lot of startups. I see thousands of startups, and I mentor startups in 4 continents. And then was to talk about creativity, but I wanted to have another take on creativity. And I will apply creativity on how to find a purpose. Back in the days, and not many years ago, we didn't have a lot of options. When we studied, we were studying to be an employee for someone, maybe for a big company or a small company or for the government, but we didn't have this option of having our own company. And it's not that we have to have our own company, but with this came the entrepreneurial mindset. How can we think in a way that we're bringing new initiatives and new ideas constantly to the table? So we started to have those options of having different career paths and also to make a better future. But usually the question that comes is what to do. And we have to be creative here. And I'm a little bit tired of thinking and talking about to be a billionaire and unicorns. I want to be a billionaire, but it's a different type of billionaire. I want to touch the lives of 1 billion people. That's why I do what I do. And I enjoy a lot what I do. I'm also a professor in different universities. I give conferences around the world. I'm a consultant for Fortune 500 companies. I do a lot of things, and everything is under innovation. But when we stop to think about what to do, it's not about the money. It's not about, going after that unicorn dream that some people in the world may have. So there are 4 major elements that we have to take in consideration when we think about our purpose. We have to think about things that we love. We have to think about the things that we do that we're really good doing them. We have to think about what the world will pay us to do, whether there's money involved, because we need fuel for those ideas to be sustainable. And also we have to think about what the world needs. So let's think about those 4 elements: the things that we love, the things we're good at, the things that the world needs, and what we can pay for. This is very, very important. When we find something we're good at and we love doing, it's called passion, really passionate about it. And we can see when we talk to people, the things that we're really passionate about. When we do something that we're good at and we're paid for, we have the profession, we have a job. Not necessarily love, not necessarily the world needs, but someone is paying for us to do something we're good at. We have that profession, we have that job. So when you're paid for and the world needs, we have this vocation, something that's innate with us. Maybe we didn't formally develop a skill to do this, but there's a vocation, to do that thing that might change the world. And when we do something that we love and the world needs, we have that mission. We're really driven to the mission. I'd like you to do something. So please, everyone that's connected, get a piece of paper, get your tablet, but get a place to write down, and let's quickly do this exercise. Without thinking now how we're gonna make money and how to set up a startup. Let's do something. Let's write down things about us. So let me get here. Okay, I have the chat here. So I want to please you to share with me. Can you write down things that you love to do? Don't be shy. Jessica told me some people might be shy. They might not write. Can you please write down something that you love doing? What do you love doing? I'm going to start. I love running. Can you use eating? Okay, Carly, good. Watching TV show. Oh, Jessica, I know you. I've been there before. Tianjiao says movie. What else? What else? What do you love doing? What do you love doing? It's not about money. It's not about anything. It's about, okay, Alec, thank you. Thank you. It says sports. You know, Alec loves sports. What else? What else on there? A couple more. What do you love doing? You know, even if you're not good at doing this, you know, Liu says psychology. You know, Tianjiao also says, you know, hanging out with friends. That's amazing. Luca, Japanese culture. Nice, Luca. And what else? What else you love doing? What do you love doing? Very, very good, Leslie Wong. Make new things always, like innovating, come with new things, daydreaming. Charlie, this is very good. If we can't like channel this, this can make us to change the world. Helping others. Emma saying, you know, helping others. She loves helping others. Hanfeng, PC game, amazing. PC game. Also a gamer. I like to play. What do you play, Hanfeng? What type of games are you playing? And more people, a couple of more. And you can have different things that you love doing. You know, what do you love doing? Some people they like cooking, League of Legends, right on. Learning new things, and that's amazing. Meaning that you were humble, you're always hungry, looking for new things. And so individually, you know, buying clothing, Charlie, this could be a thing, you know, go out for shopping. What you have to do later is like make that list of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that you love doing. So let's move on to the second thing. The second thing is, what are the things you're good at? Not necessarily is the same. Sometimes it's the same. What you're really good at. You know, I love learning, and also I think I'm good at learning. You know, I'm not very good learning, you know, foreign languages, but I like learning. I like to see other cultures, other things going on. What are you good at? Are you explore? You know, someone say explore, good at exploring. You know, you put the person in a place, you know, it's very good at exploring. What else? Are you good on skateboard? Are you know, good on something that's physical? Emma saying, dream it, execute it, get results. You know, having things done. Emma's good on, you know, have an idea, have an insight, and making it happen, and then see the results. That's amazing. Luca, she's very good at reading. You know, I was traveling with Luca recently. She was reading in the back of the car where we were traveling in Switzerland. BMX racing, Selma saying, you know, thinking, amazing. So now let's move on a little bit to the paid for, but paid for, what are the new trends? You know, again, forget about your skills, the things you love. What are the trends? What's going on now in the world? What are those things that we can be paid for because there is a trend? What's going on? There's a big trend on education, right? You know, micro learning, yes or no? What do you think? And what's there? What are the trends that are coming up? And there was a big shift of changes recently. Look at perfect environmental issues. You know, it's coming. It's coming. And also the world needs, but this is, you know, that's something that's happening now a lot. You know, digital tools. What else? What else? What are the trends? In fashion, there is a big change now going from cheap and fast fashion to more sustainable fashion. Have you heard about this? You know, there are a lot of things now, there are big trends, and we have to understand those trends. And finally, let's move towards what the world needs. Not necessarily what we're paid for today, what the world needs. We need, I don't know, I'm gonna start with something, you know, to slow down. Maybe we have to slow down a little bit. Health, perfect, Jessica. Health, you know, again, what Lucas said, environmental issues, that's perfect. Slow down. I mean, we're not even having time to look up in the sky, you know, to have a real conversation with someone. We're in the middle of this turmoil and things happening so fast. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit. Maybe, and connected to what Jessica was saying, and please write down more ideas, you know, to eat better. You know, we're not even, we don't know where's our food coming from. You know, there's no transparency, there's no traceability. You know, What we need peace, right? We don't need more like, getting in fights with everyone else. We need tolerance. We need peace. We need health, environmental, awareness. A couple more. What do you think that the world needs? Again, forget about you right now and what you can do. What do you think the world needs? A couple more. Let's say, thank you, Jessica. Compassion. Emma, right on. Compassion. Sometimes we cannot even empathize with other people, and understand to be in their shoes. Needs globalization. Yeah, in globalization, there are different ways of reading this, but we need to be in a global scale more connected and not detached, because understanding perfect, Selma, understanding amazing. Wow, and that's the base for a human relationship. So when we talked about, all those things, and we see in the graph now, when we have, when you do the things we love, we're good at and paid for, but we're not doing something that the world needs, there's this satisfaction, but that's the feeling of uselessness. When we have the thing that we love doing missing, it's comfortable because people are paying, the world needs, we're good at it, but there is this feeling of emptiness. When we do something that the world needs, we're paid for doing it, we're good at it, but we don't love, when you wake up in the morning and you're not that hyped to do that thing, there's this sense of uncertainty. And when we do things that we love, we're good at, the world needs, but we're not paid for, it's fullness, but there's no wealth. And we need sustainability even for the things that we desire. So when we find that, middle thing, that's wow, we're gonna be, there are chances of us to be successful. So when we think about your career path, when you think about even an idea for a startup, don't leave yourself out of the equation. It's not about how can we make money, how can we do the exit, how can we give the capitalist, the investor 10x. It's about this combination, to do something we love to do something we're good at, bring something that the world really needs. It's about making a better world, not an easier world, and something that could be sustainable and to be paid for to take this project further down the line. So just the final remark, I've been looking to so many startups around the world. I'm mentoring startups in 4 continents now. And I see the most successful ones are not the ones that are pursuing money. That will be a consequence. And again, fewer for the projects. Those are more in this, what the Japanese call the ikigai, the ones that found the reason for being, that purpose. So those are my 2 cents for you. Thank you. Obrigado. Tsitsie. And I'll be connected for more. If you have questions later and you want to chat, I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I actually really enjoyed it. So does anyone have any questions for him? Anyone from our participants, our judges, or like our TBC candidates? Anyone have any takeaways that you want to share or questions? Yeah, Charlie said it's a very inspiring speech. I totally agree with that.
Thank you, and I'll be happy to connect on LinkedIn, and if you will, it's a way of being connected.
That I just actually sent you a LinkedIn invitation as we speak, like 10 seconds ago. Are you able to hear me? I've been having technical problems. Yeah, I lost the connections 2 times, but now it should be better. I did something with our connection line. I would like to thank you for this speech, because I find it really important that you brought up these elements into this evening and into our entrepreneurial minds, because these are often forgotten, and especially these days when technology is in such a central role, and everyone's rushing into learning and exploring new technologies, and human mind is unable to keep up with that speed. So actually, to find the core in an individual, what is important, is extremely important. Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
welcome. And I agree, technology is an enabler. It's about us, human beings, and then let's see what's available. And there's a sentence that I like, and sorry, Leslie, just to finish my thought, from the founder of Waze. It says, fell in love with the problem, not with the solution. And sometimes we get a really cool technology and we think that technology could be applied for everything. We're forgetting that's the other way around. Let's think about, you know, people, how can we change the world? What is the problem we're trying to solve? And then we see there are like, you know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of possibilities to find solutions. Sorry, Leslie, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Oh, I just want to echo what Lisa saying. And Alberto, this is such a well said, not just speech, I think it's just talking from the bottom of our heart. And you just did that on behalf of all of us. And that reminds me, and what our guest just said, that the technology is here. Sometimes we live in a fast-paced world. Sometimes we forgot to go back to our roots to really appreciate the slow down, appreciate what is the most important core values in our system. And that core value and that compassion and commitment, love for each other. And I think that's the human nature where we can all connect, despite your culture, language, background, geography, all that differences. I think in the end, something common will prevail. That actually reminds me, I just want to quickly share. Javan and I actually, we had built a relatively successful financial career in the past. We actually didn't leave it for no reason. We left it because our own child built mommydaddyme.com. It's not because we're the parents. Actually, something inspired us where we together as a family, we wrote a children's book in memory of the Sandy Hook shooting event a few years ago, where the young victims are my daughter's age. And she didn't know what's going on. And we want to show her the world is not supposed to be this way. The world could be better. And where her creativity and her love for the peers should prevail. So actually she did a storybook talking about little creatures helping each other. And we decided to back her up as a family. Therefore, the mommydaddyme.com's name is from. Otherwise, it's looking like people wonder, what is that? We want to connect children, parents, and connect families and show that love and positive values and attitude always will prevail. So I would love to have Alberto, you in the future to be our guest speakers for our users as well, as we are doing for the cultural journey, where we actually connect children from Hong Kong, mainland China, US, Southeast Asia, now in the same classroom platform to talk about history, background, journey, and common values. I think there's something fascinating. Very much look forward to it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jessica, of course, Sparkling, for organizing this, so all of us can express what we can bring to this audience and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you for your amazing words. I'm here like with goosebumps with the things you're talking, because I absolutely believe in this. And I'm a computer engineer. I came, you know, I had my own program. I have my own programming language, but it's when I found out it's not about technology, it's about us. And those values that you just said, you know, I'm really emotional now because you're totally right. It's about us. And there's, you know, and we have to get together, you know, to transform this world. So there's not like, you know, kids and adults anymore. There's no like Brazilians, Chinese. No, it's about us. We have to connect in that human level. So I really appreciate the things that you said. Thank you.
Touch our heart. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, I think we can move on to our next guest speaker.
So next up, we'll have Hannah Lisa Johnson speaking to us.
Thank you. Did you receive my presentation? I also have it here, but I emailed it to Sparkless at 163. So maybe it would be safer if you are able to put it on. Do you have it?
I think I received it, but isn't it better if you put it yourself? Because I thought I failed to, I mean like put the slides in a correct order because there's like kind of a delay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just I have a Macintosh and a Windows, and this Zoom meeting is in Windows, and so what I just need to quickly do is to transmit it to this Windows. Just maybe if you wanna for 1 or 2 minutes continue the discussion, so I'll be able to do it in that time, please.
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah.
Just a short moment.
Or I think we can get our next guest speaker speaking first, if that's more convenient.
Whichever way you prefer is fine with me.
Okay, so we're gonna have Takuzwa Taitino. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, definitely. That's fine. How are you, everyone? Good morning from Palo Alto. It's quite early this side, so sorry for being late. But hopefully, my speech will be able to be a good apology. So, a bit of background about me. My name is Takuzwa Taitino. I'm currently a Stanford student, double majoring in computer science and economics. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, which is a country in Southern Africa, and just like you, I started my first business in high school when I was 15 years old, and now I'm 21. So I've been in the entrepreneurship space for 6 years now, and I'm currently working with some cool people in Silicon Valley. So today I'm going to tell you about navigating the entrepreneurial highway, right? So my talk is really like on my lessons, based on my lessons that I learned over the years as an entrepreneur, and especially as a student entrepreneur, right? So I'm gonna start. I remember when I was in grade 5, I had a compass, right? A compass is something that you use to find direction, right? And I remember whenever I used to go anywhere, right? Whenever I used to check my compass, I did not really know how it works, but I always knew that there was always the north, and the north was always constant, right? So applying this to you as entrepreneurs, right? You need to have a compass. And what do you mean when you say a compass? A compass are your internal values, right? Your internal values from your personality, from your passion, from your goals, from ambition, right? So as an entrepreneur, you should always have your north, and your north represents your true values, right? Because as you navigate or as you walk through the entrepreneurial journey, you're gonna meet a lot of people, you're gonna be involved in many industries. But what is very important, what is essential for you to succeed is for you to stay true to your true values and beliefs, and your true values will lead you home, right? And then secondly, in this navigation, you also need what you call a GPS, right? GPS is this sophisticated technology that is used by Google Maps and other mapping technology, right? So when I talk about the GPS, that is the external environment or the external factors that you need as an entrepreneur, right? Because a GPS is so dynamic, it changes according to location and all, right? And there's no true north or one constant direction, right? So what are your external factors that you need to succeed as an entrepreneur, right? Those are your mentors, right? Your mentors are a very great resource because entrepreneurship, although most people talk about, is about finding solutions, is about coming up with fantastic products. But at the core of it is really about people, right? And the more interactions you create, the more people connect with you. Therefore, your chances of success will be increased. So you really need to have mentors around you. And secondly, there's also an important factor of time. Time is a very important factor in your journey, because entrepreneurship is more about the moment, right? So it's about seizing that moment, right? For example, we are in a very unprecedented time in the world, right? We have this global pandemic, right? So this can be an opportunity for you as entrepreneurs to really stand up and help the world out, right? So finding this right time and this opportunity is what you need. And I've always said that you cannot change the time, but as an entrepreneur, the only way you can control time is to start now, right? So the best way you can control the time is to make sure you seize this moment and start now. And then the rest of the things will build out as you go, right? But as you are navigating this journey, as you are navigating this highway, it's not only a free flow, right? You're gonna meet obstacles along the way, and we call these the detours, right? So you're gonna meet signs such as stop sign, giveaway sign, those are all part of the obstacles that you face along the journey, right? But what you have to know is that obstacles or detours are not stop signs, but rather they're guidelines. They will help you to guide you along the journey, right? So when, as an entrepreneur, we fail, right? I failed many times, and I'm sure most of entrepreneurs, they failed a lot, right? But it doesn't mean when you fail, we have to stop. No, you have to learn from the failures and build resilience and build endurance, right? And that is what makes you stand out in this journey, right? So remember this, detours are not stop signs, but they're guidelines. So remember, as an entrepreneur, you need to have three things to help you throughout your navigation. You need to have a compass, which are your internal values, your personality, your characteristics, and your belief system. You need to have a GPS, which is the external factors around you, the mentors in the time. And lastly, you need to overcome the detours, because failure is not a stop sign, but a guideline. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Great.
Thank you so much for waking up early too. So does anyone have any questions for him? Like, do you have anything that you're curious about, or any takeaways that you get from his talk? Great. So I think people might be too shy to share, but you can definitely type in the chat box if you have any further questions, so we can discuss it afterwards. And thank you so much for your presentation, Takuba. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. And you can ask me about entrepreneurship or Stanford or anything. So just feel free. After.
Okay. The participant of the meeting, if you've got any questions, just feel free to type in a chat box or some takeaways that you want to discuss. And I think it's time to move on our next speaker right now. So let's move on to Hannah-Lisa Johnson, if you're ready.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm ready, and I'm sharing the screen now.
Okay.
You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing. Okay, let's try again.
I stopped it already.
Okay. Here we go. Do you see it? Is it visible to you? Jessica.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Are you able to see a text saying born global and be local?
Yeah, I just see it. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. It's fantastic to be with you, every one of you today, this evening. I'm very happy to share some insight coming from a northern country such as Finland. I'm located in Helsinki, Finland, and an internationally experienced business leader, but Finnish native citizen. So coming from a very small country, as you consider the whole planet. When Jessica asked me to, or invited to speak in this event, she also gave me freedom to choose my own topic, which is born global and be local. I want to share the wisdom in that slogan with you. And I will do it by sharing a case example with you. Supercell. That's the very best we have in the gaming industry globally. And I'm very proud it comes from my very own country, Finland. So if you know games, mobile games, such as Clash of Clans, Heyday, it's all created by a company called Supercell. And it's a coincidence that actually nowadays, Tencent, the sponsor of this event, owns 84% of Supercell shares. Okay. I want to introduce global people actions approach and local impact approach to you. I want you to think about what is global and what does local mean to you personally as an entrepreneur. What I have to say about it has to do with people. We need people to make global actions. Nothing happens by itself. We need diverse and multidisciplinary professionals. They are the ones that make all businesses happen, not machines. You know, you need to remember, you are native digital generation, but you have to remember technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., will not replace people forces for winning business. And people, human resources need freedom to achieve creativity. And my opinion is that you should replace bottom-up leadership with a bottom-free leadership based on trust. Then the sky is the limit if you trust people that they do their best. When you build your companies, your startups, your dreams, your life-lasting dreams, create an international culture of creativity and experimentation by providing tools, facilitating and leading opportunities, and allow change to happen based on big opportunities. Businesses cannot be planned and to a static state of mind nowadays. Everything is changing. There are flows of information, data, world events, as we have witnessed what comes to COVID-19, the coronavirus. There are continuous flow of changes, And there are big opportunities embedded in those changes. And I would like to encourage you to remember that micromanagement rarely leads into anything remarkable in this world. It consumes people and blinds true leaders from the big picture. You get lost even though it might feel you really efficient when you micromanage everything in your company. So when you build your company, when it starts to be something else than you and maybe your few other co-founders or 5 or so, when you start recruiting people, please recruit diverse people and multidisciplinary professionals. Allow that mess to happen. What we see in science is that it's been oftentimes so restricted under one discipline that the holistic approach is missing. And climate change, for example, needs holistic approach. That's why this world has gone in the worst direction, because holistic approach has been missing. And diverse people and multidisciplinary professionals, they can see together the business issues and the phenomena around us holistically as a whole. And let people flourish. Let them make their own decisions. That's what Supercell has done. That's how it became a remarkable games company. They gave freedom to everyone, their employees. It's a very flat organization. They don't restrict decision making. And that's how they really created a creative force to develop the business together with the co-founders by allowing creativity. It's extremely important, and it makes people happy in their work if they can really do what they're best at without restrictions and develop their personal skills and competencies as well. Okay, once you've gone global, don't forget that you once were local, and everything in this world is local in the end. So what I really want to push you towards is responsible entrepreneurship that brings the fruit back to local bases. And that's what Supercell has done to Finland. So if you succeed in your entrepreneurial initiatives, you will at some point come acquainted with mergers and acquisitions, what that means. Somebody wants to buy your company, maybe some bigger company gets interested, but you can make choices to stay local after your exit. So Supercell was first exit took place to Japanese SoftBank, and after that China's Tencent bought Supercell for $8.6 billion US. Gaming is serious business. Everyone doesn't play mobile games, but nowadays we cannot argue that it wouldn't be serious business. And the sale was one of the world's biggest ever gaming deals. Throughout the exits, Supercell has stayed in my country, in Finland. And I will tell you what local means to me and us, about 5 million people in this country. they have given us return in investment. Supercell CEO Ilkka Paananen and co-founders, they have emphasized how important it is to them to bring return in investment back to this country, which educated them where they grew up as children in a safe, healthy environment. They have kept their promise to stay grounded in Finland, and they have. To a small country, it has a major impact that this kind of company, creative industries company with remarkable revenue, stays in the small country. We are very export-driven economy. 90% of our economy relies on international trade and export. It is extremely crucial to our welfare system that we have these companies grounded here. Supercell is the largest community taxpayer in Finland, approximately with 6 million euros past 2 years. They have supported and sponsored children's clinic and a variety of good causes in this country. To me and to us Finns, it means extremely a lot that this company has stayed local, even it was born totally global at the first place. So dear audience, dear young entrepreneurs, dear bright minds, I would like you to remember that nowadays business demands you to be born global. But please remember where you are local and what that means to you in your entrepreneurial heart. I wish you best of luck, all young stars. I am very confident you will succeed in the end, and failure is never nothing else than one step towards succeeding. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So does any participants have any questions, takeaways, comments that you want to share with us?
I have one question.
Yes, please.
Dear Miss Hannah-Lisa Johnson, I really like the idea which you brings up, like born local and born global and be local, which involve recruit diverse people. Could you please share more tricks on how to pick the perfect team, or in other words, what defines a perfect team? Thank you.
Yeah. How to find a perfect team depends on your business idea and what do you need, which kind of competencies you need, and in which kind of timeline you are, for example, going international. If you're piloting locally and after making minimal viable product and you're doing pilot projects locally, my suggestion is that already then, if you have pool of international diverse professionals locally, recruit diverse people who have different skills and competencies, differently talented people who are complementary to each other. See that there are no gaps, competence gaps that build into huge risks. And also from a CEO and a founder perspective, more than there are human resource risks in your small starting team, the more burdened you will be as a CEO or or a main founder, you need to very early on back up yourself and do risk management, human resources risk management as well. And then I would also say combine junior and senior members in the team. So even if you are young entrepreneurs, but you will definitely benefit from senior, more experienced team members. So, people in different career phases can also be complementary to each other. So all your team members do not need to be your friends. They need to be professionally right for the job. Thanks.
Thank you very much for answering my questions. I like your speech very much. I'm so impressed of what you said. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much for answering the question. And we might have to save further questions later because we have to move on to our next guest speaker.
I'm more than happy to answer anything. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, I'm in LinkedIn. And please don't get confused with the Selma name, because one of our family computers is apparently registered with my daughter's name. So I'm Hanna-Liisa and not Selma. So, and I'm in LinkedIn. Anyone wants to reach out or even ask more questions later on, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, so if anyone has any question, you can also feel free to type in the chat box and we'll go back to you when we have more time. So now I would like to move on to Mr. Niall Khan, our last guest speaker, to share more about his experience. Mr. Khan, are you there?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Just 1 second here. Yeah. Sorry, it's printing my notes. Okay. Thank you very much, Jessica. It's nice to see you again. And Olivia says hi. So.
Thank you.
It's funny. I really appreciate what you're doing and bringing young people together to really understand what they can do and how they should do it. And I really tried to think through, and I can give you a brief summary of what I've done, but I tried to distill what made, how I led my professional career. And it's been ups and downs. It's not all roses. You always have setbacks, and the key is how you react and how you learn and how you move forward. I think it's really important to know that you set goals, but remain really flexible and nimble and tenacious in your pursuit. So, set a goal, but when you find that things have changed and the world has changed, when, you need to move on. So, and I wanted to put this up, but if you had a Venn diagram, I believe, of what you should be doing, and when you look at your future and your career, if you understand your skills and you put that as one part, and then you know what you're passionate about, what do you care about, and then the third piece of that Venn diagram would be really, what are the needs? What does the world need? What is your, and as what is needed in society, and you look at that Venn diagram, what can I do? What am I passionate about? And what is needed? I think you can start to direct your life and your career to focus on where they overlap. And in my career, I started out, really, I was in medical school. I went from medical school to trading commodities because I wanted to build and do things I was really excited about, travel and getting out and trying to create, and worked for many years traveling and trading commodities. And then as I saw the destruction of mining and heavy industry and what was happening in many of the developing world countries that I was spending time in, it became clear that I wanted to learn, that I wanted to, and you should always be learning, but I wanted to take what I had learned in trading and use that for the environment. So like 1997, when the Kyoto Protocol was being inked, I happened to have the opportunity to go to those meetings, and I got very excited by the ability to take everything that I had learned in trading and use that to achieve sustainable goals and environmental accomplishments. And it was a very unpopular opinion at that time. And you know, at one point we had fake blood thrown at us by protesters, and I never resented anyone that was protesting on behalf of the environment, because the truth is that industry had pushed too far, and unless you have the extreme action to bring the needle to the middle, so to speak, you're not going to get justice. And we're seeing that now, especially in the US where I live, where things get pushed too far in racial injustice and other injustices, and sometimes you need extremism to push it back to the middle. So what I learned then was that I could pivot, and I could take what I had learned in trading metals and pivot that to the environment. And then over the years, when environmental policy changed, and all of a sudden trading carbon and doing what I was doing didn't make sense again, once again, I had to pivot and say, well, what can I still do that is sustainable and is something I believe in, but not focused in in this area specifically. So I turned more towards clean energy. And then as clean energy moved, I pivoted again towards clean agriculture. So it's being flexible and able to use your skill sets and knowing what those skill sets are and seeing what's needed in the world and always being able to pivot. So looking at that diagram, it's like, what can I do? What do I believe in? What are my passions, and what's needed now? And I think that that's a really good guide as you go through life. It's just very simple. I'm going to keep it short. I think it's also really important to do this. First of all, if you want to know more about your skill sets, I love this test called 16 Personalities. You can Google it and find it. It's really fun. And it kind of, gives you a character of who you are. And I think it's a really interesting way to there's many other personality and skill tests, but that's a good one. And then you know what you're good at in school and what you've done. For your passions, I think it's really important to talk to people and to read and try to get out there and see what's going on. I think it's important to keep fit, and that's really your mind. It's reading, it's staying active. And your body, I think it's important that you stay healthy and keep a positive attitude. I think if you get too involved in any one thing, you lose that balance. It's really hard to be successful. It's important to get experience. So volunteer, get out there and volunteer for things that are not glamorous. Take summer jobs, if you can afford to not get a lot of money for your jobs, take something that's really interesting. But, go out there and use your family relationships and contacts, and networking is really critical. So spend time getting to know your friends, as Jessica's done, getting to know your friends' parents. Get to know people that are older than you are and know how to deal with them, because that's going to serve you really well in your career. And really, that's to go back to what I said again. It's follow that diagram, know your skills, your passions, and what's needed. And be nimble and be tenacious. Keep going after things. Know when you've got it wrong, though. Know that it's time to pivot. Don't get too hung up in one thing when the world's saying they no longer need what you think is needed. Be mature enough to look at what you're doing and say, maybe I'm off. Maybe I need to pivot what I'm doing. Anyway, I hope that helps. I wanted to keep it short and simple. Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you so much for sharing. Does anyone want to say anything, like any comments, questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead.
When you are in the university, what skills do you think it's the most important that you learn from the university?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Gosh. I went to school in New York City, so I think for me it was the first time I actually was out in a big world. I think the most important skill was that there were kids that were smarter than me. Yeah, I think until that point I had gone to smaller schools and I coasted. It was easy. And so in university, I think was the first time I was challenged and actually at times even struggled. And that was really good because I learned how to really I think deal with that and overcome it and know that you know as you move to the next level and out of your small fish tank to the bigger world, you need to not let these challenges knock you down, but they have to fuel you to do better.
Okay. Sorry, I have one more question about that.
Sure.
I've heard that you went to New York City for your university.
Right.
How do you like the city? Like, I know New York, it's like a big connection. Like, it has a lot of things going on in New York. Like, what do you think like this city gives to you, like during your career or your life?
Gosh. I think I've lived in Shanghai, I've lived in New York, I've lived in Beijing, I've lived in London, so in Zurich. So I've been in different cities. Cities are great, and they give to you what you take from them. The thing about a city is there's so much available that it gives everyone the opportunity to find out what their passions are. But especially when you're young, it can also be hard to focus. So because there's so much there, so it's great, but learn also to have lenses. Keep your lens of your close group of friends and of what you need to do, and never lose priorities, because you could be out all night and doing a million things, and then you actually end up getting less accomplished. And I've had times where I've done that too. So it's all a learning experience.
Okay, thank you so much for answering my questions.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to comment something about being good at school. So I actually know quite many people who have not been good at certain things, certain subjects at school at all, and they actually started mastering that very same subject in their professional life. And I would like these young people to think that freely in their minds that if you are not succeeding in something what you like, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't be good at it later on. So I also know some personally, for example, one Olympic athlete who was lousy riding horses as she started. And she was so stubborn that she practiced and practiced and practiced, and eventually was in the Olympics in that very same sport that she was lousy to start with when we were children. So, I mean, and also teachers' opinions, you know, in a certain extent, I like good manners. The whole our school and academic institutions are based on good manners. But don't believe a teacher who says and puts something that puts you down. You know, be critical. Be critical as you learn, whether or not it is at school or outside the school doors in life. Be critical and think ahead, and try to manage information in such a way that develops into solutions in this world.
That's great. Thank you for your comments. And also, I think for the question related to like what skills do you think it's most important in college, I think some other speakers that we have today can like bring us some more perspective. Takus, what do you think about this question?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a rising sophomore right now. So I think the most important skill for me in college is the power to network with people. Because in college, you're gonna meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds. For example, I'm in Stanford, it's an international college, right? So I meet people from like 180 countries over the world. So it is really important for you to have an appreciation of different cultures, like diversity, and for you to be able to be more willing to reach out to people, ask for help, and make friends, right? Because a college experience, you can never achieve anything alone. You need a support network, and you need to build that support network throughout your college experience, from professors to fellow peers to club mates and all. So it is very important for you to learn how to network with different people. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And what about Emma Chen?
Hello. Yeah, I think a lot about this question. So I think from my perspective is focus on two angles. One is your learning hard skills. The second one is the soft skills. The hard skills is because you went to university. Overall, after first year as a freshman, you're going to pick a major, right? They will become the skills that you will be applied after school. So that's the hard skills. When you go to the good schools, learning not only the content, but more learning about how you learn. So that's how you apply, right? Being a big thinker outside your content. Content is very important, but I think learning how you learn this content and continue learning methods, research methods, right? All those things. The second thing is soft skills. Soft skills, I think some other ones touched as networking, right? Global thinking, and also your communication skills. All those soft skills come along with you when you get out of the university. So both has to go hand in hand. I think this is the environments that you've grown up and you go to college, then you learn from others, and you also spend the time to discover yourself. Because by learning hard skills, by learning soft skills, I think if you consciously putting your effort to know yourself in both areas, I think that would be the good thing to do in a college as well. That's my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now I think we can announce our results for TBC final today. So I would like to invite Ms. Kathy Xia, I think, to announce the results for us. So Ms. Xia is actually working in the Tencent's educational department right now, and she has like a lot of educational experience. And I would like to welcome her to announce the results for us.
Thank you, Jessica.
So I have sent you the results privately through WeChat. Would you mind like announcing it right now? Oh, I think that's, can you hear me?
Result.
Can you announce the results for us now?
First goes to Safe Snacks team. Catherine, congratulations.
Congratulations.
The prize goes to the team called Along Music. Congratulations. The popularity prize goes to Safe Snacks. And there is a prize called Creativity Prize goes to He Wei Ding, SSS Plan.
Thank you so much. And yeah, and there's also another prize, which is the third prize, like the third prize. We didn't mention it, and that goes to Aegis Trinity. Congratulations. So I can actually tell that all of our candidates have put in a lot of effort, either waking up so early for the presentation or like preparing for a very long time for it. And your prizes and your certificate will go to you through mail, like we'll ship it to you. And yeah, I think you'll receive it in a few days. Congratulations again. Okay, I would like to thank all of you for being here with us, either so early in the morning or so late at night. And so our forum actually ends now, and also TBC final. Thank you so much for participating. And also, if any of you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss, wanted to share, or I saw some questions in the chat box. You can unmute yourself and ask those questions if you want to, and we'll stay for another 5 minutes for Q&A, but feel free to leave if you want to now.
Jessica, I would like to ask, are you going to make some social media posts of the winners? So I think it would be great that I and maybe some other ones as well, we could promote the winners if you make a post that we can share.
Yeah, of course. Like Sparkling will post the result of our competition on all the social media that we have, like WeChat official account, and also Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
And also we have some local medias in Shenzhen and also Hong Kong. They will like put the news on their newspaper or like on their website later on, probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
That's great. That's what they need, this kind of boost and to get it going. And that, you know, also this rewards the hard work done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and supporting us.
Thank you, Jessica, for doing this. I think this is a very good, this is the first time I'm attending this, and this is well organized. And I think all the competition participants have great projects. Thank you for doing this for all the young entrepreneurs in the pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think sparkling not only is sparklers, you have shown the world that you will be the young leaders and you are leading the way. So we're so proud of you, Jessica, and your colleagues, and we're very happy to support you all the way together.
Thank you so much. We still have a very long way to go.
Yes, together we'll conquer it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so if we don't get any further questions from the audience and the speakers,
the session will end now. And thank you everyone for staying with us for such a long period of time.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.